Hi everyone, and welcome back to Miss Crafts-A-Lot's Lair. I am Barbie and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm here with card number 2 of my Christmas in July week. This is, I think, super cute, and I love these reindeer. This particular set, or card rather, is made using 2 sets of stamps today. I am using the Nature Sings stamp set. We're using these cute little reindeer and the trees, as well as the Season's Greetings sentiment from the Stylish Christmas stamp set. For inks today, we are using StazOn the Jet Black and the classic Stampin' pad in Garden Green. For paper, we have my go-to card base. This one is Crumb Cake, and it is 8.5 by 5.5 inches, scored and folded at 4 1/4 inches. I also have a strip of Garden Green. Now, on this card, I used Cherry Cobbler for the strip. Gonna mix it up a little bit, go Garden Green for the strip, and this is 1/2 inch, and it's a little bit wider than what it needs to be, but I'm gonna cut that down to make it the 4 1/4. That way I don't have any weird things that just don't line up or whatever. Make sure that it completely covers the front of the card. This is a square of Cherry Cobbler, and it is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and Whisper White that is 2 inches by 2 inches. 2-inch square. Easier way to say it. Also, we're using linen thread and the new punch. This is the Trio Punch, and it punches out, rounds the corner, does a little decorative design on the corner, and then it also has the hole to make for a ribbon if you were making like a tag or something like that. But I'll show you this real fast. This one is the corner rounder, and for some reason when I saw this stamp or this punch in the catalog, I thought it was going to be such a smaller stamp, or a punch rather, and you can see that. And then you can also go in and punch the hole for like the ribbon or whatever. Let me clean up this mess now that I made and get to showing you what I wanted to show you. So, saying I have my punch out, I'm going to go ahead and round all of the corners for the Cherry Cobbler piece and the Whisper White piece. Now, I haven't gone much smaller than 2-inch as far as corner rounding. I'm thinking that the smaller you get here, because this is already, just a little bit to hold on to, could get kind of hairy, so I haven't tried it yet. But as soon as I do, I will let you know how that worked out. I have this cute little pile of scrap. And I'm trying to keep my place clean, so I'm going to bring out my scrap paper here, and I'm going to start off with the StazOn and the deer. StazOn is also good. You can use the Memento for this particular project, but if you want to go in with your watercolor pencils to color in the deer, you're going to smear your Memento. And there are the deer. Days on Away. And then the Garden Green. I still kind of want to open up these new stamp pads like they were the old ones, so it's kind of, I'm having some fun with that. Now I took a piece of sticky note and I stamped the deer, and then I, along the sticky side obviously, and then I cut them out, so then that way I have a place to cover these guys up so then hopefully they don't get too much of the tree stamped onto them when I stamp the tree. Now at first I was just gonna put center the tree, and I'm like, I don't think that looks so good. So I kind of stamped off of the paper for the trees, just for the fact that way I think it looks just a tad bit not so precise and calculated. That's what I'm looking for. Move my paper out of the way, and there's my stamped piece. I am not going to color in the deer for this particular stamp set, or stamp particular card. I think that's just fine. I'm going to give that just a second to dry. I'm going to go ahead and layer this onto my cherry cobbler. These deer were, especially, here, let me show you this real fast. Especially this larger reindeer just had me like, I need that stamp set, like, now. That was the first one I fell in love with. When it first came out, it's kind of an older, it's from last year's catalog. It's a carryover, and I think it's adorable. That's what happens when you have a critter lover. And I just want to make sure, I think it was 7 down. Yep. So I'm going to put this strip about 1 3/4 inches down. So that's a total of 7 of my little blocks here on my grid paper. I love this grid paper. It makes lining things up so much easier. So if you see this in the catalog or on the website and you're like, why would I want that? That's why I want it. And then I have that on there nice and neat, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my snips to snip off the excess. And then run just a piece of snail. And then I'm going to take my linen thread and wrap it around my fingers a couple of times, kind of splay it out so that way I have a nice amount of thread. And I want to try to keep the ends as close to the center as I can, so then that way it's not I put that the wrong way. So it's not showing the little ends. And there is that. And the last but not least, use up some more of my dimensional edges. Do not let any of your dimensionals go to waste. Trim around the edges. And then I'm going to pop this particular piece up But before I put this on there, I want to stamp. I got crazy and I put away my stamp. Or didn't bring out my stamp. So I have my season's greetings, and if you've watched the first video out of this, you're gonna go, wait a second, she didn't move it. No, I didn't. Bring out my stays on again quick and ink this up. And I think I moved it. Oh well. There. Stamp down. Even pressure. I can live with that. That is pretty centered there. Remove my magnet. I will put duct tape on there eventually. When I remember. When I can find my duct tape. Oh boy. Alright. So now I have my season's greetings all stamped on there real nice and neat. And I am going to take the back of these dimensionals off. And arrange this so it is centered there in the middle of that strip. And there you have it, a finished Christmas card. I hope you like this, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And all the descriptions are all of the materials and paper sizes and everything are listed in the description below, and as well as my the link to my store and such, and all my fun social sites, so you can follow me and keep up with what I'm up to. And until next time,